Hi everyone, I'm Hiro, a certified IS auditor and security consultant. Welcome to this CISA exam prep series. In this video, we are covering Section 1 of Chapter 1, IS Audit Standards and Ethics. Let's start with a question. What happens when every IS auditor just does things their own way? No shared rules, no common standard. One auditor checks this, another ignores it completely. The results are inconsistent, and no one can really trust them. That's the left side of this slide. Now flip it. With ITAF, every auditor follows one shared rulebook. Audits are consistent and high quality, and stakeholders can actually trust the findings. ITAF, the IT Assurance Framework, is exactly that rulebook. It's what ISACA defines for IS auditors around the world to make sure audit results are consistent, objective, and trustworthy. Let's break it down. ITAF 3-tier hierarchy. ITAF organizes its rules into 3 tiers, and it's really important to understand the difference between them. At the top, we have standards. These are mandatory. Every IS auditor must comply with them. No exceptions. In the middle, we have guidelines. These are recommended best practices. You should follow them. But if you can't, or if there's a better way to do it, deviation is allowed. You just need to document your reasoning. At the bottom, we have tools and techniques. These are completely optional. Checklists, templates, sample procedures. Use what makes sense for your situation. So the keyword for standard is must. For guidelines, it's should, and for tools, it's may. Standards versus guidelines in practice. Let me make this concrete because it's important. Standards have no exceptions. A classic example: obtain sufficient evidence before drawing conclusions. You can't skip that, ever. Guidelines are different. Let's say a guideline says, use password authentication. Now, what if the system you are auditing uses biometrics only, fingerprints or iris scans, and there are no passwords at all? In that case, you can deviate from the guideline, but you need to document why. You'd write something like, biometrics provides a stronger control than passwords, so the guideline was not applied. That's it. That's acceptable. This is the core idea. Guidelines require professional judgment, not blind compliance. Code of Professional Ethics. Now let's talk about the Code of Professional Ethics. ISACA expects every IS auditor to follow a set of ethical principles. And just like standards, these are mandatory. There are 3 main pillars. First, integrity and objectivity. You need to stay independent and unbiased. Your findings should be based on facts, not personal interests or pressure from management. Second, confidentiality and reporting duty. This one has 2 sides, and we'll look at it closely in the next slide. Third, professional competence. You should only take on work you are qualified to do, and you need to keep your knowledge up to date. These 3 pillars are the foundation of being a trustworthy auditor. Confidentiality versus reporting duty. Let's focus on that second pillar, confidentiality and reporting duty, because this is one area where people get confused. On one hand, you have confidentiality. As an auditor, you have access to sensitive information, you must not share that with outside parties. For example, if you discover that the company is planning layoffs next year, you don't talk about that with friends or anyone outside the organization. On the other hand, you have the reporting duty. If you discover something material, like evidence of fraud or serious risk, you are required to report that to the audit committee or the appropriate people in management. You cannot stay silent. Here's the key point. These two duties are not in conflict. Confidentiality says, don't tell outsiders. Reporting duty says, do tell the right people inside the organization. Different audiences. Both apply at the same time. 3 categories of IS audit standards. IS audit standards are grouped into 3 categories, and each one covers a different phase of the audit. The first is general standards. These are about who you are as an auditor. Things like having a clear audit charter, maintaining independence from the people you are auditing, and exercising professional due care. The second is performance standards. These are about what you do during the audit, risk-based planning, collecting sufficient evidence, and properly supervising the audit work. The third is reporting standards. These are about what you say at the end, communicating your findings accurately, reporting to management, and following up to make sure the issues you identified actually get fixed. So, think of it as who you are, what you do, and what you say. Alright, let's recap. ITAF is the global framework that gives IS auditors a shared set of rules and guidance. The 3 tiers. Standards are must. Guidelines are should. Deviation is okay with justification. And tools are optional. The Code of Ethics is mandatory, and it has 3 pillars: integrity, confidentiality, and reporting duty, and professional competence. The 3 standard categories map to who you are, what you do, and what you say. And finally, confidentiality and reporting duty are not in conflict. One is about outsiders, the other is about the right people inside the organization. That's it for section 1. Thank you for listening. See you in the next one.